Good morning, everybody. Pastor Rick here, Broadman Baptist Church, Cuyahoga Falls. This is December 1st, 2021. Wow, we're running out of 2021. This is the Broadman word for today, perspectives from the devotional Radical Wisdom. And today I want to talk to you about the secret agent Christian. You know, when you meet folks, particularly if you meet them one-on-one, and then you have groups later, you can also tell a lot about their walk and their faith and where they are based on the introductions and how they're going about introducing themselves or you in a group, especially if it's not a Christian group. You know, there's a lot of different ways that you could go about being out in the world, and a lot of what we do has to do with where we are in our walk and how we feel about our faith. You know, there are some folks, if you're with them, will introduce you with quite a bit of pride. They introduce, this is my friend from church, this is my Christian friend, or maybe you're a mentor or some other role, and they tie it to the Christianity, and it's right out front. And what that can indicate is that the individual wants everybody to know that they're a Christian, you're a Christian, and that this is a meeting or you're together because of church. Not necessarily a bad thing, but it can be a little bit of pridefulness, and it can be a little bit off-putting. Sometimes these people can end up being a little bit self-righteous, or at least seemingly so. Then there's the secretive folks. A lot of people, when you're out and about with them and you're being introduced to their other friends or acquaintances, or maybe you're meeting in a professional situation, they've not yet connected with Jesus in a way that they want a lot of other folks to know. They're not necessarily all in. They're not ready to be identified as a Christian just yet. They're not ready to be identified as a church member, and perhaps maybe not sure about how serious they are in being a Jesus follower. We call these the secret agent Christians. That is the focus of today, but there's one more. There's one more called humble. When somebody is humble about your introduction, and they introduce you just simply as one of their friends, maybe a friend from church, or somebody you're in a Bible study with, some sort of not necessarily nondescript, but a less overt kind of introduction. In this way, we have some humility and humbleness about the situation, but not shying away from who you are or what your relationship together is, or what it is that brings you together. So, most people are going to fit into one of those three stereotypes. They're either going to be the overt, outward, sort of almost in your face kind of Christian, the secret agent Christian, or the humble Christian. And so the question is, when you're out and about and you introduce yourself to people, or if you've got a church person with you, or a person you have some other spiritual relationship with, how is it that you're going to introduce them? Who is it you're going to say they are to you, to the world? The secret agent Christians, which is our focus today, are folks who are unsure of their place in Christianity. They're unsure of how much Christianity they want to display. They're kind of unsure about what they want other people to know about their faith. And so while they may be faithful church attenders, they may have a devotional and a prayer life and things that we expect people to do. The missing step then is the public profession of their faith. It's almost compartmentalized. It's secret. So they're the secret agent Christians, Christians that nobody knows about. The difficulty there is it's not really the purpose of being a Christian. It's a little bit self-centered, because while a professed believer, a practicing believer, your personal eternity is secured in heaven. You will be in heaven with Jesus someday when your time here is done. But that's about it. There's not really a lot of fruit associated with your Christianity. It's not a fulfillment of what God has in store for your life. It's not a purposeful walk. It's kind of a personal walk, which is where it all needs to start, but that's not in any way what God intended for where it to be along the way, and it's certainly not where He wants it to end. That doesn't. Your profession of faith in securing your eternity is just the beginning. It's not the end. So the danger of the secret agent Christian is the kingdom doesn't get expanded. People don't get reconciled to the cross through their Christianity, and the gospel doesn't get proclaimed as expressed to us in the will of God in His Word we call the Bible. So I would encourage you to be the humble but solid Jesus follower. Fit into that stereotype. If you've got a bigger personality, awesome, use it, but try to understand that if not used correctly, it could come off as self-righteous, and it could be off-putting. So we need to keep a perspective on that. If you are one of the secret agent Christians, answer a couple of questions for yourself. One, what is the purpose of my Christianity? Was it just to get myself into heaven? And question number two, what is it I'm afraid of? Why am I not letting the world know about Jesus Christ? Why am I not a true ambassador to the kingdom? What's in the way? And then you need to construct a plan to move those things out of the way. And lastly, if you are in the stereotype of the humble but solid Christian, bless you. Keep it up, brother and sister. We need more of you folks. So, the question then is overall, isn't that the kind of Christian Jesus wants us to be? The humble but solid follower, the dedicated one, sharing and pointing the way, not being self-attentive, but turning that outwards and being the sharing, committed, intentional follower that the Bible calls us to be. Hey, listen, I love you. I hope you have a marvelous day. It is always a marvelous day to be a Christian, and I'll talk to you next time.